Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. If 2021 is as good as 2020 was bad, what will we see happen in 2021? Cure for cancer. Far as I'm concerned, this would be the correct answer. The main reason 2020 is a clusterfuck is due to corona. Most people are putting stuff that would be the opposite of all the bad of the last century, not just 2020. If I could only pick one thing, I would say an end to global warming over cancer. Edit, figured you could prevent a lot of cancer deaths in addition. You have to phrase your genie wish just right. They would release PC2. Chess gets an update. There is 5D chess with multiverse time travel, like $5 on Steam, I think. Pretty fun game. A cheap, effective way to recycle all plastic, because life is so much easier if we can use it. I'm trying really hard to go zero waste, but it's not easy. And although I know that I'm not saving the world by reducing plastic and single-use items, I'm going to keep doing it. This is the right attitude. The coronavirus vaccine provides some level of protection against other coronaviruses that cause the common cold, hitting two birds with one stone. Edit, in case you want to comment two birds stoned and feel really clever, there are currently about 50 guys ahead of you. Like the bird flu. Or the swine flu. Pigs might fly. Someone finally cracks nuclear fusion, and we start to fix climate change. Gotta push this back 30 years again. If it's really efficient, we could use the extra energy to make carbon capture machines, after offsetting all the fossil fuels. Then, it doesn't really matter. Cure for cancer. Cute for AIDS. And an Outcast reunion tour. Since when AIDS is cute? It's not. Yet. I'll beat cancer. Edit, Jesus Reddit, thank you for all the love. I really mean it. Also, don't buy me silly awards, donate to cancer research. Good luck. You can do it. Sending love your way. I'll get insanely happy. Or just insane. Few more months of quarantine and we are all set. We will discover that we are not alone in the universe. We will learn this because they will fly down and tell us they were watching from afar, and that they thought we needed a hug after watching the disaster 2020 had become. Or a hug from an alien. How comforting. I'm here for you, bro. Knights of the Old Republic 3. Edit, holy shit, this blew up, thanks for all the awards. If this happens, I'm going to cry. If it happens next year, it means it's made by EA and only really Kota 3 in name. Let's face it. Whatever Kota 3 was going to be had died like Darth Plagueis. You know that episode of Futurama where Fry gets a bunch of intelligent space worms and they make him super smart, ridic strong, and even heal his wounds and stuff? That happens, but for everyone. Even better if there's no worms. My headcanon is that the worms were actually a dangerous parasite that were slowly hollowing Fry out and were going to take his body and destroy his brain. The benefits he got were just the worms preparing his body for the takeover, and all this is why the professor tried so hard to get rid of them. Because otherwise, why the hell doesn't everyone have these guys? Idk. I think it's fine how it was. The worms made him better, but clearly someone that he wasn't. Leela finally fell in love with him, but he realized it wasn't him she was in love with, it was the creatures that now control him. He chose to be his flawed human self rather than a perfect symbiotic host human. I actually think the fact that the worms weren't damaging to Fry made it an even better moral struggle. Is it better to be loved for someone you're not, or not loved at all? Great episode regardless. Shit, never thought about it like that, Lmao. Imagine God just comes from a stairway and says, sorry, my creation department had a leak, it's all fixed now. And as he leaves he says, and by the way, it's pronounced Jod. I literally wanted to type a fellow r/Askreddit member. Then I remembered, this is Askreddit. 2020 is the gas leak year. That's why I'm seeing everyone as puppets. Those posts that say share this photo of $1 million to have it appear in your bank account will start working. Leading to runaway inflation. It just subtracts the already in circulation money from greedy oligarchs. George R. Martin finally releases The Winds of Winter. Okay, that is a bit too optimistic. Edit, what imbecile gave me a gold award for this shit? Benevolent Super Uri. Cures cancer. Reverses climate change. Creates foglets out of nanotechnology to deal with pollution and bring in a post-scarcity world. We want Ohio. Love, Death and Roberts reference. Great show if so, and don't hear a lot about it. Transcending to the stars as a whole human race. Except Clark, she gets left behind. And the 12 others that can't have kids ever again. Common sense actually becomes common. That would probably put me out of a job, as a customer service rep. No, it wouldn't, but it would stop people from being ever-loving pieces of shit to you. They would be thankful for your help, and in turn, you'd more likely go the extra mile for them. A low-cost, low-calorie, nutritious, tasty dietary supplement that acts as an aphrodisiac and a birth control. Drink the sperm. Uncle. I'll find a job/career that's sustainable and I love. I'll meet someone that I fall in love with and I'll be happy. But that won't happen. I hope it happens for you. I'm rooting for you. I feel similarly, but we can't give up hope. This gives me strong I also choose this guy's wife vibes for some reason. Aliens show up and they're actually total BROs. Give us the cure for all diseases, show us how to do cold fusion / how to harness dark energy as a power source, show how to travel through space and time, give us crazy mind-expanding alien drugs, oh and also they have 2 sexes and they are both really hot and horny for human mating. All this crazy alien sex and mind expansion causes all humans to finally live in harmony and we get accepted into the Galactic Federation of Planets, finally. Harris dark energy you say. I wish that was where I stopped reading. Harris dark energy you say. Grab it by the scalar field. All babies affected by corona turn into the Avengers. Avengers. Don't assemble, stay 6 feet apart. Avengers, disassemble. I can't get past the feeling that 2021 is going to be way worse. The thing that worries me more than anything is that we shall all find out in the next decade or so that on the grand scale of things, 2020 was a mild discomfort compared to how bad it could be. I share the same concern. The thing is, the 20th century was one goddamn unprecedented nightmare after the other for at least half the time. Most of us on Reddit are just too young to have experienced the main events, World War I, Great Depression, World War II, Cold War-related wars and depression, and b. born in a country that was more quickly insulated from problems and benefited from global inequity and rapid technological development. There's no good reason yet to believe the 21st century should be significantly better. Hopefully, I'll find a girlfriend that stays for more than a few weeks. Hopefully I'll get a girlfriend for once. I needed a girlfriend to convince me that I actually didn't need any girlfriend. Just try and remember, communication will save your ass 100 times out of 100. And the first time is never good, never. Good luck bro. Freaking corona finally gets straight up cucked by a cure. That's just to break even. We need some compensation. Due to all the funding poured into research, we now have a vaccine for the common cold. Nicolas Cage musical reboot of The Passion of the Christ. Ash. Not the nails. Ash. Well, get a vaccine, things will go back to normal. We will finally address police reform, homelessness crisis, climate change, corporate tax avoidance. People will realize how much misinformation is on Facebook and start being nice to other people of the opposite political party. And everyone gets to choose between a new puppy or kitten paid for by taxes on the top 1%. So. Communism. Per second. The top 1% don't pay for things in communism. Silly doik. My dad will come back to life. Askreddit, thanks for the awards and nice comments people, also the zombie comments, that was cool too. Oof. Sorry for your loss, Frido. Sorry to hear this. Hope you're staying strong over there. COVID develops sentience, and all of it leaps from the folks it's infecting and travels from all across the globe to one central location. The world looks on in horror as so many viral bodies form together in a mass they become visible to the human eye. Larger and larger it grows, until all the virus has gathered, and a figure takes shape. Agonizingly slowly, the virus thing turns its head left, then right, and then left once more. The infectious maw yawns open, columns of viral tentacles jutting ominously from within, and the thing begins to speak. Oh. Oh shit, I'm sorry dudes. I didn't realize I did that. Don't worry, I can fix it. A whipped tail, like a scorpion's dipped in toxic waste, sweeps gently over the onlooking crowd, and among the gasps and startled shrieks a wave of warmth ripples over the land. All around the world, horrors begin somehow reversing. The lives taken, apparently accidentally, are restored, and people's loved ones find themselves back home unharmed. Herman Cain takes back his Twitter account. But more and more, all over. People realize no one should be persecuted for being a different color, worshipping someone else, loving someone else, or what have you. Genocidal impulses are wiped out of humanity, no one seeks to inflict harm on others, legally or physically. Wealth inequality is cured, and everyone is thriving. The environment is fixed. As a final act, the Corona thing gestures once more, and everyone gets a PS5, because it wants more players to compete against for the current popular shooter. The thing waves to the crowd, and then vanishes as the particles break apart and sink deep, deep down into the earth. And by the way, please call me Steve. Never really like being called COVID. This should be a movie.